Hi everybody, it's me, Lindsay. I'm making this video is because I know there's going to be talking about this, and it will have to do with what I just watched. I just watched 2 hours of 48 hours, and it was all about stalking, and I thought this was mostly about Pauley Perrette, even though it was, but it was actually beyond that. They were talking about Christina Grimmie and what happened to her before that day when she got murdered. And even though that happened, and I could not barely sleep at all, and then of course with the entire weekend gone crazy, and then because I was watching wrestling and I couldn't stomach in after watching more of wrestling after what happened to Christina Grimmie, but I had to hold it in. But then, even though with what happened on Sunday with the shootings at a place called the Pulse, that was a club for gays and lesbians and bisexuals and transgender. But don't get me mad at me, okay? I'm just trying to remember all this stuff. Anyway, but it's not just that. I mean, it had Pauley Perrette, who I really like. For her playing Abby Sciuto on NCIS, I mean, for 14 years, because it was the 14th season, I was like, I can't believe this happened to her. She got stalked. But whoever is causing her to be stalked, I wish they wouldn't. I wish they would stop and leave her alone. Because she does not need this. And I just wish that, she would be no more being scared. But I guess that has to do with the laws in Los Angeles, and I hope they do change. But not only that, I mean, and I also learned that there were 3 other women, 2 women, mostly a woman named Pam, who is a single mother and a lawyer, who got stalked online. Well, throughout all of her stuff because she met this guy online, and it was just bad. And this other woman, Charlene, who also had been confronted as well by an ex-boyfriend. It was just horrible. It made me sad. It made me feel awful that these 2 women happened. And then, of course, there was the situation with Lenora Claire, who is a TV producer, an actress, web star. She has been harassed, but this guy who she's been harassed, his name is Justin, and he has been mentioned much before, and it nearly made me feel when he went after apparently President Trump's daughter, Ivanka Trump. I'm like, good grief. I'm like, and then of course things get me. I feel like I almost felt sick when I found out that he went to school in my home state of New Jersey, which is probably up north of me, but I'm like sick to my stomach and whatnot, and I couldn't believe I had to hear about this. And I'm thinking this better not be how it is. But sure enough, I mean, I was horrified to hear about this. And even though in the ending of the episode, yes, even though this is kind of a spoiler if any of you guys haven't seen it yet, but I found out that he was put on medications and he's somewhere in Nevada where his mother is. And I'm like, thank you. But, I mean, that's not the only thing. I mean, now, not just how those ladies had affected, but, I mean, there were other incidents happen. Like, for instance, my favorite wrestler, Tim Donst, around the time I was still puzzled and confused about what's going on with Christina Grimmie, what happened, why she died, and Aiden and whatnot, that it was making my head spinning. And I find out from Tim, even though I mentioned him in my videos, much as I could, even though I should, as much as I talked about this stinking trainer for trainer. Ugh. Sorry. But anyway, when I mentioned about what happened was I found out that Monday, then about like days, it was like 2 days after when Christina Grimmie had got passed away, and I just didn't realize until I found out like 6 days later in a tweet, and it turns out that Tim Donst tweeted out that his mother got shot, and I'm like, why did this happen? I mean, to a nice woman, no doubt. And he said it was by his ill father. I'm like, oh my god. So I almost felt like I almost know everything. And even though I wish I haven't, but it was revealed that I guess probably somehow the relationship between the relationship between Tim Donst's parents probably didn't last long. And it's probably since his son wasn't, I guess their son was deciding to get into professional wrestling. But when I didn't hear from him on around December 2015, I was really worried that something was going on. And even though I didn't do for him anything last year, which I feel bad because of what was going on, and from, I guess, because he tweeted last year in January that he said he was having family problems, and he wouldn't much tweet until everything was okay. But I don't know if this was because of his father, or was probably looking for his mother, probably because she moved after, I guess, since she got remarried and whatnot. But I guess then June happened with the situation, and when I read about this online, I was like, I can't believe this happened to him. I mean, according to what I read, Tim's father had a few weapons, and I don't know who was also being targeted besides Tim's mother. And I did not expect if there was. I don't know. I was thinking in my head, it could have been him and his stepfather there, and then him. I'm like, I was coming up with theories and ways, and I felt so awful for him that this happened to him. His mother did not deserve this, and I felt so awful. And it was just horrible how this happened. And he got arrested. His mother was put into hospital, but I haven't heard anything since then. But till some things had that I was watching TV, and then I ended up looking online, and I found out that last October, his father was sentenced to jail about 11 years, and I couldn't believe this would happen. I don't know if Tim's mother was considered to be stalked by her ex-husband, but I felt it could have been. But I mean, I'm just letting it go. But there were some other instances too, including my friend, who I won't say who it is, but she told me that she had been harassed by this crazy Mexican girl who was so obsessed for my friend's lover, and she made multiple accounts, and they can't do anything, even though both my friend and her lover live in the United Kingdom, and this girl lives in Mexico. There's no laws to do anything about this in Mexico, and I felt so sad that this happened. But I ended up doing my best to help my friend out is by reporting those multiple accounts and for bothering my friend and her lover, even though I seen in the tweets, and I was so horrified that she was not only mentioning him, even though calling him a racist. I was like, what? I was like, that's not like him. I mean, my friend would told me so, but it wasn't the case. And actually, what's worse than that, she was actually trying to push my friend's lover with another woman. And I'm like, hell no. I mean, after all what happened, I was like, mm-mm. And she kept going at it. And it was all because it was not only she was trying to stop the both of them, it was also that she kept harassing them, and it sounds like a revenge thing. And I feel bad for both of them, and even though they can't do nothing much about this, but I haven't heard much about her ever since, but I ended up tweeting them out and saying, here's a Twitter account. I always screenshot them, and I said, here's another Twitter account of this person, this Mexican girl, because she's after my friend and her lover, and it's getting out of control and being ridiculous. No, she needs to be stopped. And it makes me very upset and angry. And, and I felt so awful. And then, of course, my situation, when I was watching, Bull, and, there was this crazy person actually leaving nasty comments, leaving blue comments on my main channel, crazy comments, and I was horrified. And then she tried to contact me saying things, and I told her that she actually asked me for us to do a breast exam posted on YouTube. I said I can't because it goes against YouTube policy. She tried to contact me a couple more times, and even though I report her, she was trying to bribe me with money. she tried to get me. She tried to get wrestling tickets, but I mean, she couldn't. I mean, she's crazy. So I had her. So I had her reported, but I checked and she hasn't been after me since. So I was hoping she probably moved on. And even though I had her reported and blocked, and I told this to my mother, but she says that I deserved it. I was like, ugh. Either way, a lot of things happening, and I'm just hoping that people don't do this as much as they would anymore. But either way, a lot of people were really sick to the head. I mean, and after watching tonight's episode of 48 Hours, I don't know how this would be. I mean, for people to do something crazy like this, it's horrifying. But no matter what, I mean, I'm just really upset. I mean, after all, I'm still in my clothing thing because of the whole entire incident. Even though I have my face. But anyway, thank you for guys watching this kind of sort of review or chat or whatever. I will do is probably tomorrow, if it's available. I'll try to get the I'll get the video and probably put it on here, the video link, if you guys want to watch it. And yeah, I'm gonna go to bed right now. I don't know if I'm gonna be streaming. I think I'm gonna try to game stream tomorrow. I'm not sure, but thanks for watching. Bye.